All right, ready when you guys are.
So it looks like pretty much everyone has had some sort of upgrade on the injury report. Is there anyone that's heading into the game question?
Yeah, I mean, we're working through those things right now. You guys will see the injury report when it comes out. Yep.
How did Quentin look today?
He looked good. He looked good. He's showing progress, and we'll see where it goes.
This is not a question about the Colts per se, but I don't know if you saw this week, the union kind of made a thing about turf versus grass and that sort of thing. When you're managing your team, obviously your responsibility is to keep them healthy and all that, longevity. Do you have to think about that in terms of practice specifically, whether you got grass outside, you got turf inside?
Yeah, I mean, you think about that stuff, but really my focus right now is on the Houston Texans. I know guys have their preference, whether they're grass or turf, but right now I'm just focused on the Texans.
Defenses across the NFL now, it seems like the trend is play shell, play umbrella coverage. Like the goal is to take explosive pass plays away, right? How much more difficult has that made it over the years as more and more defenses go that way?
Yeah, I mean, that is a big deal, right? To limit explosives on defense. I think it's a game-by-game operation. I think some teams, that's in their DNA to play shell, and some teams play man, and that's what they do and play single high. But you have seen teams mix it up a little more with a little shell coverage. And then as coaches, just trying to put our guys in position to create those chunk plays and calling them at the right time to catch the right coverage.
For lack of a better way of putting it, like the sort of like 20-yard explosive, is that big for you too? Like even if they're playing like the Ogletree pass,
yeah,
that's a 20-yard pass that's underneath their shell, but it's still explosive.
Oh yeah, no matter how we get explosives, they can come in the run game and the pass game. As long as we're creating explosive, that's big. I mean, you can throw an underneath pass, the ones we threw to downs last week on a little option route. I mean, I don't know what that went 430 or something like. That's an explosive play.
Pittman has always been like good after the catch just because of his size and the way he runs. I mean, are there ways that you can lean into that more and take more advantage of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're going through that process every week, to try to create the explosives, whether it's with Pitt or Downs or Alec or the tight ends. We're trying to find ways to create those explosives.
Shane, I think in the end zone, that's kind of random. In the end zone out there, it says relentless, if I'm not mistaken. I assume that's something you wanted to do? Or?
Yeah, just the pillars that I talked about when I got hired. It's character, preparation, consistency, being relentless. So every day, it can't live on a wall. You know what I mean? So when we're watching practice, guys are seeing that everywhere. It's up in the meeting rooms, it's on the field. We got to be relentless in everything we do.
So is it relentless in all four end zones? Or?
No, it's the four of them. Yeah, each of them. Yeah.
Maybe you get to see a ton out of him with the forearm injury, but Zach Moss, just what do you like about just the weight, like the style he runs with?
He's got good vision. You know what I mean? He lets those blocks get set up, and he sees it well, and then he can cut those things back if he needs to. But liked where he was at this week. Excited about him.
Do you expect Evan Hull to be back this season? I know he's on IR, but do you expect him back?
At some point, yes. Yeah.
We were talking to Reggie Wayne yesterday. His first year in coaching, and I know he wasn't all in necessarily. It took a while to get him to be convinced to coach, and then he has a first year that's like not ideal, right? What were your conversations with him when you first got hired and when you first talked to him, and just kind of what sense did you get from him? He said he had unfinished business.
Yeah, I think obviously his first year coaching, and then going into it, it's a whole different transition from being a player to a coach. Just the different, the operations, the daily operations. But you can see the growth from Reggie, every single day, working on his craft as a coach to get these guys better. And that's what it is in this profession, right? As coaches, we want to get our players better. And that's his job to get the receivers better. That's my job to get the receivers better. That's everybody. But his growth, he just keeps, going.
How much do you think it helps that he did it at a high level? Obviously, you don't have to be a great coach without that, but I mean, I would think that if you're in this building and he's telling you to do something, it falls a little.
Yeah, no doubt. When a guy's had that much success in this organization as a player, that carries a lot of weight with the other players. He sees the players have seen what he's done for this organization over the years, and it carries a lot of weight.
Shane, you sometimes see head coaches that are play callers give it up at some point. What did you do off-season wise to kind of counter that, to make sure that you didn't feel like too much was on your plate?
Yeah, I think obviously you got to study and look at everything you do from a self-sketch standpoint, and then make sure the communication's on point and make sure you're having success.
Did you feel like anything week one was?
I didn't. It felt normal. It felt good. The operation was good. Felt good about it.
Is it harder Monday through Saturday, or you think on game days?
I think the process is the same, really, like the preparation through the week, getting our guys ready to go, and then on game day, calling the plays for me as a coordinator, when I was coordinator, was the same. You gotta be a little more locked in when the defense is up for challenge flags and timeouts, but you're still looking at the call sheet and talking through those things.
The pillars in the end zone, like I know you changed you changed the way your offense looked, changed some of that. Like for you, just having reminders for the guys everywhere is a big deal. Why is that?
I think it's the culture. You know what I mean? Everything we do, I think a big thing in this league is culture and guys being on the same page and believing, what you're putting down. But you got to live it every single day. And that's why just some of the stuff in the building that we did, guys, when you feel like something new and it changed, right, and you keep growing and growing and growing, guys want to be a part of it, and that's the goal here is to get everyone freaking dialed in and going.
All right.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.